Hello class. So today in this video I'll be explaining to you about classification of computers. So in nowadays actually we are all surrounded by different computers, right? So without computers it has become like we cannot do any work. So there are vast number of computers. So let us see how we can classify these computers. So generally we can classify computers into two main types. That is, based on the purpose I can classify the computers, and based on the data handling I can classify the computers. So what do I mean by purpose? Purpose means why the computers is being used, the uses of the computers. So based on where I use it, for what I use it, I can classify those computers based on that. Okay, so let us see how based on purpose we can classify computers. So based on purpose we can classify computers into general purpose computers and specific purpose computers. General purpose computers are those computers that we can use it to perform different tasks. I mean, when I have a computer, it doesn't mean that I can perform only one work. I can use that computer to do different works. So, those computers are called as general purpose computers. To understand this better, let me give you an example. For example, the computers that are in our lab, you have all used it, right? So, those computers are called as the general purpose computers. Why? Because those computers you can actually use it to play games, right? You can use it to perform paint operation, you can use it to send emails to your friends. So, there are vast varieties of tasks that you can perform using that computer. So, those desktop computers are called as general purpose computers. The next type of computers is specific purpose. So, what are specific purpose computers? Specific. That word itself is telling you. That means one particular task it is going to perform. So the computers that perform only one particular task is called as the specific purpose computers. So what could be the example of this? You have used it. That is our ATM machines. So I'm sure you have seen all the ATM machine. ATM machine is also a computer. Right. So what is actually a computer? Do you people remember the definition of computer? Computer is an electronic device that is used to store and process the data. That's what I have taught you in the class, right? So, any electronic device that is going to do the processing and storage of the data, we call it as computers. So, our ATM machine also is a computer. It is an electronic device. It is going to do our processing, right? When we insert our ATM card inside that, it's going to process it, and based on what information or if I want any transactions, it's going to perform that. So this ATM machine is also a computer, but it's not a general purpose computer, it is a specific purpose computer. I can use ATM machines only to withdraw money or check the balance, those kind of things only, right? Only banking operations I can perform using that ATM machine. I can't use ATM machines to do paint operations or play games. So it is meant only to do banking task. So those kind of machines or computers are called as specific purpose computers. So let me recall it once again. So computers can be classified based on the purpose and data handling. So based on purpose, I can classify the computers into general purpose and specific purpose. General purpose computers are computers that is going to perform a large number of tasks. Specific computers are computers that is going to perform only one particular task. Task means work. Okay. Then I told you we can classify computers based on purpose as well as data handling. Till now you learnt about purpose. Next we have data handling. What is data? Data is nothing but information. So based on how the computer is going to handle the information, I can classify computers into three main types. Okay, so some of the computers are going to take input in a different form. It's going to perform different operations on that, and it might not take large amount of data, those kind of things. So based on those, we can classify the computers into three types. Those three types are analog computers, digital computers, and hybrid computers. Now let us look into it in detail. So what is analog computer? So analog computer, it is a computer where the data or the information that we are going to give the computer will be in a physical format. So physical quantities means it can be temperature, voltage, current, those kinds of quantities. We are not going to give input in the form of alphabets and those things. So where do we use these analog computers? So, for example, I'm sure you have seen in many industries, you have heard about how the milk is being preserved. So, for example, in dairy, what they do is they have huge containers where they're going to boil the milk to very high temperature, and suddenly they're going to cool it so that the milk will be preserved. So in order to perform this operation, they're not going to do it manually, right? They're going to use some devices. So those are nothing but our computers. So for that, they are going to use an analog computer. So here in this computer, the quantity that we are going to give is the temperature. So if I'm going to set in that device or the computer, say I want to boil the milk to 100 degrees, and after that it's going to stop boiling and at once it's going to freeze. So these are the settings I'm going to give it to that computer. So this computer is going to take the information in the form of temperature. So those kind of computers are called as analog computers. So what are analog computers? Analog computers, they work upon continuous data. So these, I think you have learned in physics also, like temperature, pressure, voice, all these are physical quantities which are continuous. That is in the waveform they are. So here also I mentioned analog computers, they are going to work on continuous data, and they are going to work on physical quantities. So let me show a picture of an analog computer. Look at this. This is a picture of an analog computer. You can see that here we have a place where we can insert all the wires. It's going to perform the calculation. Here you can see there is something like temperature, 67 degrees is being displayed. So this is an analog computer. So they are going to measure physical quantities. Physical quantities can be temperature, current, length. Okay. Then another type of computer is the digital computer. Digital computers is something that we are all aware of. We have all seen it. Yeah, right? Our desktop computers come under digital computers. So these computers are going to take data in the format of zeros and ones. Zeros and ones are what? Binary data. I'm sure you all remember our different numeric values, that is hexadecimal, our octal number systems, decimal number system, and binary number systems, right? You all remember those number systems. So this kind of computer is going to use the binary number systems, that is zeros and ones. So The advantage of this digital computer is that it's much faster compared to the analog computer, as well as it's very accurate. So we use this digital computers in those places, like we use it for business purpose, for scientific calculations. So everywhere mostly we are using this digital computers. This digital computers can be further classified into mini computer, microcomputer, mainframe computer, and supercomputer. These computers I'll be explaining to you in the next video. So as of now, you just remember how you can classify digital computers: mini, micro, mainframe, and supercomputers. So the next here I have put a pic of the digital computer, that is our desktop computer. Next we have the hybrid computer. So hybrid, I am sure you have all heard about this word hybrid. So what we do is we combine the features of two or more things to get a better one. So in hybrid computer, what we are doing is we are combining the features of the digital computer as well as the analog computers to get a better computer. Okay, so to understand this better, let me give you an example. An example of a hybrid computer is the ones that are in many of the hospitals they are using. I'm sure you have heard about robots performing operations. So in order for a robot to perform a heart surgery, what they do is it has to monitor the heartbeat of the patient, right? It has to check the BP, heartbeat. So those are the physical quantities. So those physical quantities is measured by the analog part of the computer, and then it's going to perform surgery. So that precise surgery is performed using the digital feature of the computer. So it is a combination of analog as well as digital computer. So let us just recall what we learned in this video. So what I told you, we can classify the computers mainly into two types. That is, based on the purpose, I can classify computers. Based on how the data is being handled, I can classify computers. So based on purpose, if I'm going to classify computers, I have general purpose and specific purpose computers. If I'm going to classify computers based on data handling, then I have my analog computer, digital computer, and hybrid computer. Again, digital computers, we can classify it to four main types. That is my mini computer, microcomputer, my supercomputers, and my mainframe computers. Okay, once again, go through this video. I'll send you a PDF of this video again, so that it will be easy for you to understand. And based on these videos, I'll be giving assignments. So download it, listen to it 1 or 2 times, and try to understand it. For further reference, you can actually go through the soft copy of the book that I have given you. Okay, bye students, take care.